Jordan pushes through the pick, but it was kind of a moving pick. He eyes him and then tries to shoulder check him.
Glen Rice wanted that action.
Absolutely. If you're going to run into it anyway, you might as well push off and get off me.
You could call that fighting through the screen, or you could call that physical assault.
Well, you know, I'm surprised that was a foul back then. There weren't many fouls like that back then.
And then has the audacity to get mad at him. Oh, he just like ate his nose.
That was kind of spicy right there.
One thing about NBA altercations is you really want to punch somebody, but you know you can't, so you just end up like kind of kissing them, but like aggressively, meanly kissing them.
Jordan really had it on his mind that I was going to run through his chest. See, when you lower a shoulder like that into the sternum right here, like you doing that on purpose. You trying to set the tone. So Glen Rice knew what Jordan was doing. So now he had the right to be, Glen Rice had the right to be upset, but Jordan wasn't backing down.
Part of Michael's secret was his feistiness. I mean, he would come after you.
As we've learned in The Last Dance, Jordan has those comebacks.
So my only question while watching this clip is, how do you trash talk Michael Jordan? Like, what do you say to him? Are you like, you're the greatest of all time, but your breath stinks or your shoes untied?
So based on what I know about Michael Jordan, he's probably hacked into Glen Rice's bank accounts at least 15 times since this happened.
I missed the Charlotte Teal. Those were dope unis, the LJs, the Alonzo Mournings, the Dale Currys.
Like, people want to rock them jerseys. Like, nowadays, people don't want to rock the Charlotte colors. Like, you don't see nobody rocking that. But, like, when jerseys was in style, people was throwing them on. Like, I need that.
Purple and teal. I do know that it makes a very good starter's jacket.
That's all I think about is the fact that no matter how many times I asked my mom, I was never getting a Hornet starter jacket or any starter jacket for that matter. And I asked the teal, those uniforms and that, you know what? They should just play in the starter jackets. Like if they should do that. I'm gonna talk to Michael Jordan. I'm gonna talk to Brand Jordan. I'm gonna make them play in a Brand Jordan version of the teal starter jackets the entire season next season.
I love the ones where he's in United Center, Old Chicago Stadium against Phoenix.
Scott LaRock with the left. Tips it over to MJ. Oh, spin out. They double. He determined not to pass it. Oh, he gets tangled up. Danny Ainge. Hold me back.
I don't know what kind of little shove was this, though. Like, I never seen a shove with the wrist. Like, he didn't really want to hit MJ. But look at Danny.
Oh, Danny Ainge with the 10-year-old boy haircut.
It's the exact hairstyle I had at 10 years old. And actually, I was ahead of the curve because I was 10 years old 6-7 years before this.
Middle school is a tough time for everyone. For Ainge, obviously, it's extended past middle school, and that's okay. He got through it. He survived.
Well, look, he had a nice head of hair. Let that go. Let it flow. Very feathery.
Danny Ainge actually saw me at 10 years old and modeled his hairstyle after that. Little known fact again.
Not to hate, but I'm kind of hating.
Ooh. So what happened is Ainge gets elbowed in the face by Michael Jordan, right? And he expresses the fact that he has in fact been elbowed in the face by Michael Jordan.
This is where Danny goes wrong. Again, you're so mad. Like you're so much rage that you just want to hit somebody or push somebody, but you can't. So you end up grabbing the ball from somebody as hard as you can as your like fight tactic. Like, oh, give me that basketball. I'm going to rip it hard. It's just.
How dare you?
Danny Ainge came down on him and also caught an elbow on the way up. That's an old confrontation. Oh, finger in the face.
MJ hits him with a boy. Listen, you better not come over here with none of that, because I don't know if you noticed, but I will get you tossed out of this game.
That is a true sign of disrespect. When you point like 2 inches away from someone's face, I understand why Danny Ainge got all mad.
He probably got him one good time on the course, though. Probably the last time they played. Got a little bit of money off of MJ. Boy, I told you. He was going to catch one. So he caught one.
We're going to play golf and talk about it later, huh? That's what he was saying.
I thought they were boys. They played golf together during the playoffs.
But they're on the court now, and the fans don't know that they were playing golf. That was the difference in the fraternization then versus now. It's outward, it's public, it's players on the floor lifting up their jerseys to talk to one another. And so when friends happened away from the floor back then, that's exactly what it was.
Danny, I'm never surprised. Danny got it. He got into it with a lot of people, man. And I'm pretty sure that wasn't their first dust up either.
Like, that Celtic team was feisty. Like, Larry Bird was feisty. Like, Larry Bird, and Danny Ainge, man, like, Larry Bird was having fights in the bars, and Danny Ainge was like, they was a feisty bunch, so it just carried over to his Phoenix Suns day.
Danny Ainge was just a whiner. He always was. As a Pistons fan, he cried about everything. He's still crying about something.
Danny Ainge just doesn't look tough. This is actually why Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr in practice, because he thought Steve Kerr was Danny Ainge. No one really knows that part of the story. That's the actual truth. He punched Steve Kerr and then apologized and said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were Danny Ainge." But Danny Ainge is going to exact his revenge. He's going to trade Daniel Tice to Michael Jordan for like 3 first-rounders.
1990. We're going back in the way back.
No. This is quite the brouhaha.
Look at that. Wow. They got into a full-fledged fight over that?
This was not a thing. Like, it was a loose ball that Irving tried to get. If every coach since you were 5 years old tells you to try to get every loose ball dive on the floor. That's all Irving did. But Michael Jordan just needed something to get excited, so he turned this into a fight.
MJ had a problem with anybody who challenged him. Like, that didn't call for a scuffle. All they was doing was diving on the floor for a loose ball. But MJ just wanted smoke.
I just liked how Phil Jackson was just all up in the mix there.
That shows you about basketball in the 80s and the 90s. Guys now would be whining about the skirmishes. There were skirmishes all the time.
So then he jumps up and initiates the fight, and then immediately he basically goes to the locker room right once it starts. He's in the locker room. He's in the locker room just letting everything blow over so he can rejoin the game.
If you're MJ, you're definitely not finishing it, because think about how much you're worth. You're worth the entire National Basketball Association. You have got to remove yourself from the fight.
Boy, smart. He's a vet. He's the GOAT. He's a hold me back. But at the same time, I'm MJ. I get entangled up with anybody. Y'all need to handle that.
Jordan shouldn't be fighting his own battles. Like, think about hockey. Star players never do the fighting. They're enforcers.
It's like pushing Wayne Gretzky away. You don't want the star of all stars to be even involved in this stuff.
Every team I was on, it was a rule. Like, you better help your brother, period. You better be the first to go help him off the floor. If you see him getting into altercation, you better be sprinting, not walking, but sprinting over there.
Anytime a scuffle broke out, I was the pull away / oh my God, what's going on down there? Does anyone else see that?
The big guys were not only required to be productive, they were required to be physical and bodyguards and create a level of intimidation that is missing from today's game, whether it's hard fouls, screens, coming to the defense of their perimeter players, in particular their star players. So many big physical guys that could throw around their body. And that was part of their requirements to play up front.
Michael Jordan is not just the GOAT at basketball. He's the GOAT at starting fights but not participating in.
Every time I see basketball dudes acting like they're gonna fight, there was never going to be a fight. There will be no fight after it. We're just gonna wait. We're gonna move a lot of arms. We're moving a lot of legs. We're gonna push a little bit, but no one's actually gonna get swung. But I guess, if the guy swings on you or he gets a little feisty, yeah, you're gonna try to push back. I don't even know who he's swinging on.
This is easily the most impactful thing that Byron Irvin did his entire career. And also, you got to remember, Byron Irvin, not exactly a superstar in the 90s, but you got to just love the chutzpah of anybody who's like, oh, Michael Jordan's covering at me? Cool. Watch me spin baseline and just dunk all over him. That was the plan. That was the plan in Byron Irvin's head. And that's what I appreciate so much about all professional athletes is even when you're Byron Irvin, who played 87 games in the league, you're like, oh, Jordan's covering me? Don't worry. I got this.
not so fast. By the way, Michael, you could say, well, Michael wouldn't know Byron Irvin. He wouldn't know he's from Chicago. Yeah, he would. It's the kind of thing Michael would know in season. It's exactly the kind of thing Michael would know, even before he got in the skirmish. But what's so instructive about that is how contentious these games were. You think anybody was thinking about load management at that point that night? No. And he's the greatest player of all time, my book of all time, on the floor in a regular season game in a nondescript situation against a non-superstar player going for loose ball. Seriously, people need to, young basketball players, if you out there, you wonder what Jordan did. He did more than average 35, I can tell you that.
This is where my innocent hatred for John Starks began.
That might be one of my favorite lines of all time. I play. Jordan got scratched. He was very upset about it.
Oh, Jordan wanted you. Oh, John.
The Knicks-Bulls rivalry was damn near as contentious. And they went back at it, Starks and Jordan.
Man, when Jordan, that look on Jordan's face, John Starks backed up.
See, you see that? And John Starks keeps coming back for more. God bless John Starks and these Knicks. I love these Knicks so much.
I mean, Jordan wanted that smoke right there. That's like, he was in it. You can understand why. It's John Starks. So.
But the finger point, though, it's so disrespectful. It's like when you're telling your kids, all right, I'm going to tell you one more time and it's going to be a problem.
Jordan's really big on like the Real Housewives, like finger point. He's really big on the like, no, you don't. It's kind of like me, like I want to hit my kids, but I can't, so I just aggressively point at them. Like Jordan's really good at that because he knows he can't punch anybody, he can't push anybody, so he'll just point really hard at your face to make you mad.
Oh, John Starks. Oh, John Starks. Such a, no violence, but such a punch over the face. As a Bulls fan.
Look at, is that Doc Rivers?
Doc Rivers sighting, keeping the peace.
Man, Doc saved him. He saved him. Jordan was gonna crush that man.
Why did he get ejected though? I mean, I don't like John Starks, but why did he get ejected?
Starks just tries to get the ball. Maybe stuck his left leg out. Maybe, probably not.
Oh, does he stick the knee out? Is that what happens?
This is for priors. That's what this is. Jordan's just had enough. He's like, this guy's always hounding me. This team is always bothering me. They don't have the physical talent to beat me at basketball, so they just try to beat me, and he just got upset.
Man, they wasn't going to eject Jordan. Didn't get ejected. No, they're not going to eject him. He going to get every kind of warning, all kind of warnings. They going to never, not no playoff game.
Michael Jordan is just so mad at John Starks that even if he just touched him with the fingernail, he's going to act like he shot him in the chest with a shotgun, which is basically what he did. And he got John Starks mad and then ejected. And of course, the Knicks won the series, right? Oh, wait, the Knicks never beat the Bulls.
So Jordan accomplished exactly what he wanted to accomplish there. He didn't get a tech for going after John Starks, and John Starks got 2 quick tees, gone.
Security walking Mr. Starks to the stairs. So great.
They're like, this way, Mr. Starks. Get out.
That's what he's there for. John Starks was not actually great at basketball. He's great at making other people angry.
He took beatings after beatings, but that's dirty. And John Starks, this young Bulls fan, remembers him being dirty.
Jordan and Starks, man. Starks was a guy, you think about the matchup and the difference in it. And you've got the ultimate blue blood here in Michael Jordan, and you've got a guy who was bagging groceries in John Starks. And Starks knew he had to fight for every inch on the court. He had to do it.
I mean, everybody punching above weight with Mike, but you could not go out there and be scared. That's the thing. Mike is going to come with it. You just can't be scared. You got to be physical with him. And that's the approach I took against other superstars. I was like, man, I want that today. When you playing against the greats of the game, man, you gotta have that type of attitude like Starks had.
I appreciate that because, MJ was the king at intimidating his opponents before playing against them, right? So to see a guy that, actually wanted the action and wanted that. Like, you could tell before they played, that clip even started, like, you could tell Starks wanted all type of action. Like, he was in the Jordan. So you got to give him his flowers for that.
I will say this. I recently got a text message from a current head coach in the league. I don't want to give away too much, who played in the 80s and the 90s. And he said to me, one of the things that he doesn't like about today's league is players don't go after the stars. Well, they did then. John Starks didn't care about going after Michael, and Michael didn't care about coming right back after him. And nobody could keep them apart. They were going to go right back and guard each other, and those matchups were unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an adult now, so I have to have rational thinking. That he's not a bad person. But when I was a kid, he was the worst person ever. But no, I mean, John Starks, respect you as a human being.
God, John Starks, you're a hero.
Oh, Pacers and Bulls.
Oh, as soon as they said Pacers, I knew it was something.
So he gets the tip in and he wants to celebrate by getting in Jordan's face. Reggie wanted all of that.
Reggie, what are you doing? Reggie, what are you doing? Reginald Miller, that is not you. That is not you. That is not your job. That's Dale Davis's job.
Oh, a lot of face smushing in this one.
Oh, slap, elbow, slap.
See, it was 5 fouls that happened before they even called it.
I mean, you could say there was some momentum that brought him towards Jordan, but let's be real.
Intentional contact, though. Yeah. It would have worked out if Reggie had the arm extension that kind of got him caught up a little bit. And MJ is not about these games.
But his momentum does not carry him into Jordan. If you notice, he jumps up and then down and then pretends that his momentum carries into Jordan, pretends that he's protecting himself with his forearms when he's really throwing a shiver. And then when he sees the black cat storming towards him, he's like, what did I just do?
Man, Reggie wasn't afraid to go after him. This game is in Indianapolis.
He came at him, though. Shout out to Reggie. He tried it. Listen, he tried it. Didn't work out.
I mean, Reggie was just one of those irritating guys. And I could see with how much Reggie talks, why it would create such a fiery intensity in Jordan to face smush him. Just shut up, Reggie. That's what you see there.
Jordan definitely wanted to punch him in the face. And I'm going to be fair, Reggie Miller deserved it.
Jordan was trying to see if Reggie had contacts in or not.
We've been looking at these. It's really just other people coming after him and him getting upset. And honestly, I feel like he does the same thing now. You know what? I bet he punches people on the golf course. He's probably much more violent on the golf course now than he was in the NBA on the actual basketball floor.
First quarter strapping, man. This is NBA right here.
The question we should always ask ourselves before the brouhaha start with Michael Jordan: who is going to get ejected? The correct answer is
No.
He didn't get ejected?
No.
Reggie got ejected?
You got to be kidding me.
And Michael didn't?
Seriously.
And you want to know why Reggie didn't want to be in the documentary? Are you kidding me?
Oh, wow.
See, the refs ain't right, man. The refs ain't right. You cannot be fans of Jordan and refereeing the game. They both should have got tossed.
Jordan put the hand in his face and didn't get ejected. Oh, man, that's cold. Jordan, they protected Jordan, dude.
I don't know how it happened that Reggie went and Michael didn't. But this is a case of guys going, star treatment, favorable treatment, preferential treatment. I believe in double standards, personally.
But for one guy to get ejected, another guy didn't. These are the things that made the opponents upset at the officiating.
It's like the refs put Reggie in his place. You are not on the same level.
Did you get hit in the face by MJ? Are you bleeding? Did you get scratched? You're ejected.
That was great. Michael didn't get ejected.
People were hesitant to step to MJ for a few reasons. One, you know what happens when you upset that black cat. He gonna go at you on the floor and give you buckets and give you that lockdown D that's gonna be a problem for you. And also everybody's watching him embarrass you, which is gonna put a shine on you that you don't want.
After you lit a fire and started some stuff with MJ, you had to back it up. And he was just more talented. Like, he was just better. So, you know, at the end of the day, you want MJ to just drop a cool 30 or you want him to go for 60?
Mad Michael Jordan is better than Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan is the best player of all time. So Mad Michael Jordan is whatever the GOAT is. He's the GOAT of the GOATs.
He earned the respect of his peers physically, and then he took the respect of his peers by the way he dominated on the floor.
Yeah, that was physical. That would be a headline fight today, obviously, because it's two of the biggest stars in the league. I'm trying to think of it was like LeBron getting into a fight with Steph Curry.
That was the difference then. You was going to get a chance to throw a couple of punches if you really wanted to, not promoting violence in any way, shape, or form or advocating for it. I'm just saying that there was a physical intimidation that took place in the game then that if you got really physical with a player, it could result in fisticuffs.
This was what make competition. That's what make it interesting, because you see the fire in both of them and the passion. Whether you throw blows or not, or you get somebody's face, it just shows that you really care about the game.
It's great. It's great. I miss all that. I miss that confrontation in the playoffs. I don't want anybody getting thrown out. Reggie going against Michael, man, that's good stuff.
This stuff was always fun. You know why it's fun? Because you can be watching a random blowout, and it's like, there's always going to be a fight. It just always kept you in your seat, you know? It was like, look, they're down by 25. Maybe they'll fight. Like, that was, as a viewer, I always enjoyed that experience. Like, I rooted for overtime first. If that wasn't going to happen, then I rooted for a fight. And sometimes it actually paid off.
It's like the playground. You know what I mean? Like, you're playing on somebody's asphalt. You ain't got no net. You know, it's just you and the rim and the ground and a ball. That's what those games turned into sometimes. And we would never see that happen these days.
See, players was allowed to get away with all that stuff, man. That's crazy. Man, you damn near get thrown out the game for that right there nowadays. Can't stand it.
As soon as you walk up to an opponent and the words fight enter your brain, both ejected. You know, they do a good job of keeping the violence down and trying to elongate players' career by lessening the altercations and the physical impact that they endure throughout the game.
And now guys are buddy-buddy. They change teams half the time and go. Would we like to have seen LeBron and D. Wade do that? Yes, but they were playing together before long. Would we like to have seen Kevin Durant go like that with Draymond Green? Yeah, but they were playing together before long. So, you know, it ain't the same. Do I wish we could sort of insert random confrontations? Would I have wanted to see LeBron and Kobe like that in the finals? Oh my God, yes.
Honestly, I wish I grew up in this era. I would love to see people just like tossed to the ground like piston style. You know, there's no such thing as scuffles. We're not just separating people. Everyone's getting ejected. But in a way, it's cleaned the game up. It's made everything faster.
If players today want to think that they could automatically just sort of reset 20 years ago, wrong. They got to get used to a whole different temperament, the way the game was called, the scraps you had, you could get thrown out. Or you could be left in to scrap some more. Wow, that's a clip right there.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.